Deserves credit for the strong economy, and we know it's not 45. During his Clan of the Union address speech last week, 45 touted the strength of the U.S. economy. He says he was thrilled to report to you tonight that our economy is at the best it has ever been. Though some may quibble with such a bold statement, there's no question that at least by certain metrics the economy is booming. The economy is in the midst of the longest expansion in American history as it continues to grow from the worst days of the Great Recession. Unemployment is at the lowest rate in 50 years and the stock market has spiked to record levels. A strong economy may be the most potent argument that 45 has as he campaigns to try to lose before he gets that second term. Even though a squatter's influence on the economy is limited, voters tend to reward them when it's strong and punish them when it's weak. The last two incumbents to lose re-election, George H.W. Bush and Jimmy Carter, were defeated during shitty economies. Why there is such a debate on this? 45 supporters say he deserves praise for the historic highs the economy has reached since he took office, which he has nothing to do with. They credit his $1 trillion tax cut and the trade battles with China, Mexico, and others for boosting investment and creating jobs in the U.S. 45 detractors say the gains made in the past 3 years are basically merely an extension of the progress that Barack Obama had set in motion and in place. Not only did Obama prevent another depression, they argue, but he also built a solid foundation on which the current economic expansion has grown. Others say 45 has weakened the country's long-term prospects by cutting taxes and increasing spending to create a short burst of growth that will ultimately destabilize the country. Another group rejects the idea that the economy is doing so well as it may seem. Most of the gains have been experienced by the wealthy, which is true, while the working class has fallen further behind and are struggling. What would be next, hopefully? Though the economy is still growing, the rate of that growth slowed by squad and see. Whether that's a sign of the economic upswing is reaching its peak is unclear. Economists say economies can't grow forever, and another recession will come eventually, and it will be caused by 45. Perspective. These are what the 45 blowers are saying. The 45 administration policies have finally produced the economic benefits that American workers should have experienced coming out of the recession, but did not. 45 has directly led to economic growth, not really. Those things aren't good enough, those things aren't good luck or are accidental. They're the result of capitalism and a Republican president who passed the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act and removed jobs killing regulations that were setting the business sector under the prior administration. Voters claim they recognize 45's positive influence, which he doesn't have one. 45's policies have sparked the greatest economic renaissance America has seen in decades, and no amount of political spin can conceal that fact from the millions of Americans who are better off today than thanks to his efforts. I'm not better off because still I haven't even got anything from him, and why the hell would I? Obama gets too much credit for the recovery, is what one reporter said. Barack Obama inherited an economy with nowhere to go but up, and what followed was the slowest recovery since World War II. 45 inherited an economy theatrically overdue for a recession and already turned it to what economists consider full employment, which it really is not. 45 is riding Obama's coattails, which technically he is. Overall, the economic metrics 45 beats his chest out about are continuations of trends that started under Obama, suggesting that the country has been climbing out of recession for many years, not that 45's policies were necessarily transformative. Down-ballot Democrats have helped more than 45. Poverty rates are falling not because of the Republican tax cuts and the resulting ballooning of both inequality and the federal deficit, and not because of deregulation that makes the environment dirtier and workplaces less safe. They are falling mainly because Democratic-controlled cities and states are raising the minimum wage in the face of federal inaction, and are looking for ways to increase access to health insurance. The working class is being left behind by 45's policies, which is true. Yeah, here we go. The economy is not working for the middle-class Americans rather than helping. 45 has broken his promise to stand up for average Americans when facing a choice. He has regularly chosen the rich and powerful over the economic security of middle-class Americans, which wouldn't have surprised me anyway. 45's short-term thinking has weakened the see how the short-term sugar high can come close to balancing the long-term cost of ignoring climate change, the largest budget deficits in the trade war. Actually, it's not hard, impossible. Complications. Neither squatters always get more credit for good economies and more blame for bad ones than they deserve. The economy isn't as strong as the metrics make it out to be. Suicide rates are at a record high in the post-World War II era, and more Americans die every 2 weeks from drugs, alcohol, and suicide deaths at despair than died in 18 years of war in Afghanistan and Iraq. These deaths are symptoms of larger economic malaise for working-class Americans than predates 45. But yeah.